I've been performing breathwork for around a decade now, and with all this experience and knowledge that I've gained through practice, through study, through guiding people in journey sessions and videos like this, I am here to share with you all of this knowledge. So breathwork really is a manipulation of the nervous system. So we have the parasympathetic nervous system, which is associated with resting and digesting. Then we have the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight and flight nervous system. And usually people consider these good or bad, but it's really not that simple, because when we step into, let's say, the sympathetic nervous system through extreme, intense, deep breath work, what it does is induce hypoxia, which is a state of lacking oxygen in our cells. And this might sound dangerous to some people, but if you do this temporarily under controlled circumstances, it is nothing to be afraid of. So what it does essentially, it pulls the blood away. It doesn't allow the blood to rise to the prefrontal cortex to the same degree, which means that it's primarily in the back of the head right here, which is the limbic system, the reptile brain, so to speak, also. And this is where our subconscious lies, as well as within the body, where all the emotional baggage that we carry is stored. So when we're doing breath work also, these pulsations that we shoot through the body with our breath, it really massages these neuromuscular holding patterns that we accumulate, these emotions, these stagnancies, these energies that cannot or have not been released in the past. And this really helps to flush our system of trauma and lingering emotion. And so when we tap into the subconscious part of our brain, as well as gain this depth, this groundedness in our body, that is when things begin to surface. That is when traumas start to get released. Not by way of us figuring out what happened or how to navigate our thoughts about something that has happened, but rather through the experiencing itself of the raw emotion, getting in touch with our humanity, getting in touch with these abandoned parts of ourselves that we have been unwilling to face, unwilling to feel. And so that is one way to approach breathwork. And these intense breathing exercises, which may look like this, or the 2-part inhale, for instance, very fast-paced, very deep, very intense, invigorating, energizing, exciting our system. They serve the function of supplying large quantities of life force energy, pranic energy, to our system. And you will feel this. You will feel this vibration, this tingle in your body. And yes, physiologically, we can claim that this is due to the lack of oxygen in our muscle tissues, and that may be so. Oxygen lacking in our skin, true. But at the same time, when you go through this experience itself, you will know the spiritual quality to it. You will know the depth to it. It is not merely a lack of oxygen. There is so much more to this practice, and that is why it has been practiced for thousands of years in shamanic traditions, in yogic traditions. It is so profound, and it is the primary instrument of the human being. You know, we can live days, months without water. We can live days, maybe weeks. We can live months without food. We can live weeks, perhaps even just days, without water. We can live perhaps a week without sleep, but we won't last even a minute without breathing. Breath is the primary source of nutrition. Breath is the primary fuel of the body. And that is how we fuel our system, by invigorating ourselves through the breath. It has such tremendous power. And so the other side of breathwork is the calming side, the down regulation portion, which is in through the nose, out through the nose. Slow, deep. You might even be humming. You might be squeezing your glottis to produce the ujjayi breath, which is like a constriction of your vocal cords. And these techniques serve the purpose of really grounding us, of really calming the nervous system down. So, because we live, most of us, in very stressful lives with all this dopamine just flooding into our brain. We live lives with so much stimulation all the time. And so perhaps if you're neurotic, if you're anxious, if you feel all wiry and antsy, perhaps you need to calm down. Take a single conscious breath. Perhaps just the breath awareness itself is enough to calm your nervous system. And this allows you to feel more in tune. It allows you to feel yourself in accordance with life, in flow with life. It allows you this centeredness. It allows you the clarity, because as we just covered, when you breathe slowly and fully, which most people don't in their day-to-day lives, but when you do this, you'll supply more oxygen to your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain. And as a result, you'll gain mental clarity. So when you're in an argument, when you're in a stressful situation at your job, and you need to be sharp, like a razor, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. However, we might also be in situations where we feel stressful, there's so much clutter and noise in our mind, and we just can't get a grip of it all. That might be a time to invigorate ourselves. That might be a time to use sympathetic types of breathing styles, energizing breath styles, because it resets the mind. It clears the prefrontal cortex of thinking. So there's a medicine for every situation, but the most important thing to realize is that medicine is you. In the Bible it said that God breathed life into man. And I want you to really start getting in tune with your breath. Just notice your breath right now. Where is it? Is it up in your throat, your chest, your diaphragm area, your solar plexus here, your belly, your lower belly, down into your genitals perhaps even? Because when we're truly breathing, we're able to relax the pelvis floor, squeeze it out, and that is how we gain the depth in ourselves. That is how we feel more connected, more alive, more vibrant. That is true confidence. To be centered in ourselves and to trust in ourselves. And we achieve that by fully being ourselves, being in full allowance. And the first primary way to do that is to connect with our breath. So I'll get into a seated position. I'll guide you through a very short round of breath work just to get you started. And I urge you to follow along. So please find a seated position along with me, and we'll continue from here on out. So I hope we're all in a nice seated, comfortable position with our back straight. So for this exercise, we'll be breathing in and out all throughout the mouth. You might want to get some spinal flexion into it. So on the inhale, you bend back. On the exhale, you crouch forwards a little. And the breathing exercise itself is a circular breath, which means that there's no pauses between the in and out breath. So it looks like this. And the most important part, the emphasis of this practice really is to breathe deeply into your belly. Don't keep the breath up into your chest. Bring it all the way down. Let it trickle down. Let it happen by itself. Don't force it. Because the more you force it, the more you tense up and the less you're able to breathe deeply. So relax through this practice. Let the body's intelligence, the innate intelligence of your body, do its own thing. It knows what to do. So trust in the breath and follow my pace as we go along to this practice. So, seated, back straight. Let's go. One round. That's it. Here we go. Three, 2, 1. Fully in, hold your breath, fill your lungs. Hold. And release the breath back out. Come back to normal breathing. Return to center. Notice the shift in you, the quality of your presence now, the energy that was flooding through you in this practice. Just notice in yourself what qualities arose on behalf of this one single round of breathing. What do you feel? What is the purity of your mind? What sensations are going through your body? So the reason that we hold our breath on the inhale retention, it might also be an exhale retention. The reason we hold our breath is to rebalance the CO2 with the oxygen levels in the body, so that we can reabsorb all this oxygen that we have kept or cultivated inside our lungs, so to really harness the energy. And what you feel experientially when you hold your breath, for me, I find it especially powerful on the inhale retention, is that this energy, it just floods all the way up into the brain, just pouring out into our energy field. And I feel it like tingling. I feel it like an expanse in my awareness, feeling centered, calm, energized. It is a profound instrument that we have available right here. There will be many videos in the future like this, guiding you, elaborating even more on techniques, on the understanding of breathwork, because this is a great passion of mine and I love to share this even more with you. So I'm currently facilitating long transformational breathwork journeys lasting up to 90 minutes, perhaps even more in some cases. And these journeys, these long duration breathwork journeys, have the purpose of really digging deep into our subconscious mind facilitating even deeper recognition of the innate beingness that we are. So if this offer is for you, if you feel compelled to dive deep into your own mind, into your psyche, into the awareness of your own self, you'll find my email down below in the description, and I will be ready to receive you, to guide you, to offer this opportunity of a lifetime to enter transformation and to really heighten your awareness, to deepen your sense of peace and to release yourself from the trauma of the past. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for partaking. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in. I appreciate you all so very much. Until next time, bye.